Okay. Wonder what that is.
Well, I'm talking about liquid. Rich enough to have your own jet. Rich enough not to waste time. Well, in my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated. They're analysts. They don't know preferred stock from livestock, all right? The new law of evolution in corporate America seems to be survival of the unfittest.
Good evening, stock traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Tuesday night, January the 10th, 2012. I am your host, as usual, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, we have Stock Sumo.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. I don't know what that means, but I'll say it back at you. Welcome to the show, Stock Sumo.
Always a pleasure. I've been so excited, looking forward to tonight, and we made it.
Yep. We made it through the day, another trading day. It's a slow day, though, if you ask me. Now, also joining us on the radio program tonight, we have Nickel.
Hey, Mike, what's going on tonight?
Not much, sir. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Another day, another dollar.
Nice. That's always good to hear. Always good to hear. All righty then. We also have joining us Cop.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? How are you, Mike?
Welcome to the show, sir. You back in the groove? I know you missed a couple of days.
I am. I'm definitely getting back in there. Everything's working out pretty good.
Okay, and our wishes go out to our other co-host, Mr. Sifakia, who is apparently having trouble with his dog right now. So he will not be joining us tonight on a radio show. Good luck with that, Siffy. Hope everything works out well.
Oh, what a handsome dog. I saw a picture he posted on Facebook. I just want to say, Siffy, your dog's a cute little dog. Cute girl. Oh, boo-boo.
Are you guys kidding that he's babysitting his dog?
Right. Well, he just told us he got back from the vet. Can you read that?
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
I thought that was a joke.
No. Why would he say that?
Because knowing you, he would know that if you wrote that, then you would say it on the air. And Siffy knows you well enough to know that, hey, don't say anything like that. Mike will say it on the air. As you did.
Okay. All right, one of those, huh? All right, and we have a special guest tonight joining us for this Stock Spotlight, Frank.
Thanks, guys, for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem, sir. Not a problem at all. We will get to the Stock Spotlight in just a moment. First, I'd like to start off with last night's Stock Spotlight. Does everybody remember what that was?
Satum.
SATM.
If I remember correctly, we were all a solid buy on that play.
We were.
And congratulations to the entire staff because every one of us was correct. It was up today. So good choice last night. Good pick, everybody. I know there's a couple that were a little, I don't know, on the fence, I guess you could say, about that pick. But it was green today. Nice little increase in volume, too, if you ask me. Towards the end of the day there. So that was a good pick by everybody. But tonight's Stock Spotlight is FBCD. That's Frank Boyd, Charles David. Like I said, we have a special guest joining us to talk about FBCD. So, Frank, get us started on FBCD, sir.
Yeah, sounds good. FBCD is a toy company. They make vinyl toys, collector's edition toys, so, it's not your $2 Happy Meal McDonald's toys. They're a little bit more high-end. They have some really awesome contracts and licenses that they're working with. Some of the ones that you've probably you've heard about them or seen before. The big one that jumps out to me is Marvel Comics. Everyone loves Marvel superheroes. You got Marvel Comics. They got Paul Frank. Now, Paul Frank licensed Julius the Monkey. It's that little monkey. If you ever go to Target, you could probably see it on, kids' pajama pants, school boxes, lunch boxes or whatnot. So that little monkey, Julius, is more popular than you think. So they have licenses Marvel, Paul Frank, QP, Mr. Bubbles. So they have a bunch of different licenses, and they make toys for those products. And the cool thing about this company is that these products you can actually buy right now. So it's not, necessarily the planning or development stage. You can actually go out and buy some of these products right now. So that's one aspect of FBCD. They got these products, they got these licenses, and they're focusing on that. Their Marvel products are coming out this year, 2012. If you go to their website, which is superradtoys.com, it's got Marvel 2012. And personally, as an investor in that company, I'm really excited because this summer you got that Avengers movie coming out, and that's all the Marvel characters, and they haven't announced which Marvel toys they're going to be making yet. So I'm really excited to see which ones they're going to get. I'm just looking here. The other thing that really jumps out at me is some of the associations with the license they have. Not many people may know this, but Marvel is actually owned by Disney. So the potential for new licenses and new deals on this brand new toy company is pretty out there. But I think the big thing for me that I'm focusing on with this stock right here is that we're awaiting a name change right now. So they're in the process of doing a name change, a ticker symbol change. And as you guys know, whenever you have name changes or ticker symbol changes, it's really a nice play. It's really a great investment opportunity. But their second aspect that I'll say here real quick is they own this website called PlasticCityStockExchange.com, and it's an interactive place for people to sell and auction their private toy collections. And it's also going to be a place for other toy companies to sell their current stock. So if you live in New York City and you own 6 toy stores, you can buy and sell stock with people from Minnesota or California. And this site is going to feature exclusive offerings, and from the press releases that we know, I'm excited about that because that's going to be a real moneymaker for the company. Because it's very similar to eBay. They get a product, they get a cut of that. So I think lastly, they got some really cool licenses. They got some really cool plans going forward. And if you look at the stock right now, the market cap on this stock is $420,000. And if you're looking at some of these licenses like Marvel and Paul Frank, you got to believe that the licenses are worth more than the market value of the company. So I really think it's a great company. They got a bright future for 2012. But I guess that's it in a nutshell. So
with that, based on that market cap, what's the share structure, the authorized share and the outstanding shares?
Yeah, the authorized share count is 150 million. The outstanding share count is 149 million, and the tradable float, which I got from an email from the CEO, is 80 million shares. So, if you look at penny stocks, in OTC land, having an authorized share count of 150 million for a stock trading where it is it's ridiculously undervalued, and you probably hear that a lot. But if you do the math on the market cap, it's quite remarkable how undervalued it is for where it's trading. So,
well, you would be surprised with a lot of the companies that we actually get. It's normally not your mainstream stuff, and it always shocks me when you have something like this. You're talking about Julius and those type of things where you think that stuff doesn't make money, and it always reminds me of the who's the guy that was on that big multi-million-dollar show, The Rich and Famous, with the guy that made the Bubba teeth. Did you guys ever see that before? And that type of stuff, people
the widgets and all that kind of stuff.
I mean,
exactly.
and it's like how did they make money off that? And you're right, and that type of stuff has a huge drawing. I'm really interested in the Marvel Disney things. Now, Disney bought Marvel, right, which we all know Marvel growing up and all that with the comic books and everything you can possibly imagine. How is that like entrenched, or are they in negotiations, or is that something where there's an asset that is held by the company that is potentially going that way?
Well, if you go to Marvel's website itself, Marvel is owned by Disney completely. So you got to look at what the company currently owns. They have that license with Marvel, and some of the people that the company surround themselves with on the Super Rad side have some connections to Disney. One of the owners here, Sydney Richland from Super Rad, his mom used to work for Disney. So there's some really clear connections that you can kind of see going forward that they may draw it up. But, yeah, I mean, Marvel itself is gigantic. You all know the comics. They're making movies, it seems like, every year. And they got this Avengers movie coming out this summer. So it's, it's not too far of the possibility to think that they're going to time that accurately. But, so as of right now, they have licenses solid, 100% paid for with Marvel. Nothing yet with Disney, but I can tell you what. The CEO did an interview last October 2010 rather, and he said we're working on some licensing deals with Disney and with Marvel. And he delivered on Marvel, so there's no reason to think why he won't deliver on the other one, in my opinion.
Sure, that makes sense. I'm actually, right now, Frank, I'm looking at the chart, and, clearly, if you go back a little ways, you had that, straight and very sideways, had a huge spike, man. I mean, up, looks like up to 10 cents area.
Yeah, I was actually involved in that spike. I traded it and made a really handsome profit. I got in at like the 0.15 to 0.2 level, and got out as high as like 10 cents. It was a really good opportunity. And at that time, it was trading, over 10 million shares a day consistently.
Wow.
Some days as high as almost 20 million.
See, Frank, you just found your long that sold on you. Yeah. But what I'm seeing from that, and you're right, there was a huge opportunity to make money there. I'm a bottom player. That's what I do. I like finding stocks that are going to give me Momo and go from there. And Frank, as far as with the companies and a lot of the longs invest in these companies for the short term and for the long term gains and those type of things. The key to the stock picks that we make are for the following day. And this is one of those ones that it kind of is very tantalizing to me because you can tell that they diluted. There's no doubt about that. It was driven down there for a while. Looks like last summer. Then the volume went sideways. And then the volume starts shrinking. But is there any shorts or any key thing that people are thinking here? Because, I mean, the low volume that keeps taking this down is kind of odd.
Yeah, well, with the whole point with any public company is obviously, to raise money. So, that's given, as you said, looking at the volume. But if you take a look at the chart, at least as of today, as I'm pulling the chart up, we had about 4.5 million shares traded and made a nice move up. And I think the thing that everyone is looking for, you want to get on that bottom play. No one likes being late to the party. And, looking at the licenses they have, in addition to the pending name change, now if you look back at the recent news, 2 or 3 weeks ago, the CEO mentioned that there's going to be a name change in the works, and they're being diligent with that. And if you look at their filings, the last 10K and the last filings they've issued, it's been, really extensive. They're getting the job done on that end. So like you mentioned, Kop, that you're looking for, bottom plays. You look at the chart, from this spot, the stock last time ran to 11 cents. In my opinion, seeing something around the 2-3 cent area from where we are with just, the share structure that we know is not out of the question. I mean, that's kind of what I'm predicting, just kind of seeing how the stock trades as you get some strong buying volume. But, like you said, clearly there was some, dilution, some financing. That's what a public company does. But that seems to be over. He can't look at the share structure like I mentioned before. The authorized is $150 million and the outstanding is $149 million. You can't dilute much more than that. So
yeah, I mean you can't beat it into the ground. You can only beat it in the ground so far. I'm definitely going to be, keeping a close watch, and it seems like the bottom's just starting to set in place here.
Yeah, it does look like a bull. All right, let's go to. I'm going to go to DD Amanda. You guys know that's how I trade, and I'm a follow the money guy. That's a big piece of what I do, and what I like to do is I like to do 30 days and 90 days. And I'm giving one of my little trade secrets there. So let's see, volume-wise for the last 30 days trading is right around 92 million shares. and about $508,000. And what I do is I always take the volume, divide it by the amount of money that comes over 30 days, and I figure out an average price. Average price is 0.0054. All right, so 0.0055. Then what I do is I go out 90 days, and I do this for diluted companies. All right, so I go out the other 90 days all the way out to looks like let's go to September 1st. I do a little Excel spreadsheet thing here. 70.7 shares traded over that other course of the other 60 days prior to that, and $841,000, which equates to 0.011. And then what I do is I do a factor where I believe, and this is just how I trade, and it works out for me every single time, is where the people that buy in high have choices to make. Their choices are very simple. I either do a stop loss, I take my loss, or I wait it out and believe in the company while it's diluting. In most cases, what I use is a factor anywhere between 10 and 20%, depending on what's going on, and I bank on the fact that they are going to average down. Now, on stock like this, I do that 2 to 3 times, banking that they're going to average down 2 to 3 times. So what it does, it basically gives me a price in that range. And just based off of that, I'm looking at 0.0065, somewhere around there, is the neutral price where I would expect it to pop back up to. Does that make sense to you guys how I do that?
Yes.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That's pretty smart.
Well, I mean, DD Amanda is I know I keep preaching this to you guys, but DD Amanda is unbelievable because it gives you all the money, it gives you all the share, it gives you all the highs, the lows, and you're looking at, I mean, that thing traded above a penny for a long, long time, and most of the shares were sold up there. That's the key to looking at what I'm looking at right now. And I really like what's actually happening with the bull right here, which is very interesting to say the least. You had your bigger volume that came in the 55 to 70 area. You guys see those spikes on the chart, and you get like that little pyramid shape. Then people, it's one of those flight or fight, type things, and most did not, and they allowed it to drop again. And it looks like they predicted the bottom to be somewhere around that 45-50 area, so they started buying again. That's where you got that $35,000. You guys see that? That was on looks like 12/23, which is even more odd, right? Because during the holidays and that type of stuff, you expect the low volume to happen as far as from dollar value, and then it actually went all the way to 12/30, right, December 30th, somewhere between $10,000 a day. And the reason why you're getting that money is because the stock price is dropping little by little by little by little. So the more it drops, the more people that are buying it, thinking that it's the bottom and all of that. But the thing that makes this odd is January comes, and you only get $8,000, $1,000, $1,000 each day, to where, and you can see the bowl starting to form where, there's not many shares that are being sold there, hence the not having the volume. So I mean, this is shaping up to be a very nice bowl. I think this can get a nice little arc to it.
I'll do a quick breakdown on the chart. I like to go to stock charts and do a lot of DD. I put in different overlays. I pick like the pivot points and add like accumulation and distribution as on the indicators, and we'll just take a quick look at the RSI, which is at 36.26. So it's kind of in an oversold area. There's plenty of upside to that, and there's not really much downside to the RSI. Looking at the accumulation and distribution, it's been on a pretty steady incline. Since March, it's been steadily rising, and there's been some spikes and some dips, but over the past month, it's been on a pretty steady incline. And the resistance points that we want to look for: 0052, 0075, 011, and then 0193. So those are the pivotal points and resistance points according to stockcharts.com. We got 0052, 0075, 011, and 0193.
Yeah, there's some good stuff with that. The other key thing that Frank mentioned was sounded like the OS is matching the AS. so you know that the amount of dilution that looks like it's over. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. It could have been over for a while, but the one spike in December, it tells me that might have been the last piece of it. You guys got anything else for Frank? That's pretty good update with that. What do you anticipate you're long.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yeah. Just
1 second. For those that are listening and wish to call in and ask any questions or add to the conversation in any way, you can call us at 213. I'm sorry. Start over. You can call us at 347-215-7181. Okay. Cop, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Perfect. When you get wrapped up into a stock and you like it, you like the product and you like what's happening with it, there's certain things that you hope to happen, right? Meaning, it's why you buy a stock, in certain avenues. What are you anticipating, or what? I mean, I know you're not the company, but there's a reason why you're in the stock. What are you anticipating from an operational or their direction?
Yeah, well, first off, I really think that average down theory you mentioned, that's a really great point. The way you worded it makes a lot of sense. And looking at, I've been in this stock for quite some time, and looking at where shares were traded and shares were sold, is that most people, they're going to have a cost basis, over 2 cents on this guy. That kind of correlates with your average down theory. And what I'm hoping for, I look at this company and I see the market value. And if you look at the market value of $420,000, you have shells out there that are worth more than that. So, it's been completely, beaten down. And I think part of the reason why, to be completely honest, was due to tax write-offs. And I know, if you according to your theory, if you look at the end of December, you had those volume spikes. And I think a lot of it was due to tax write-offs. But what am I looking for? Outside of, the product and stuff that I mentioned in the past, if you look at the way this thing trades and where people's cost basis is, 3-4 cents in the near term, in my opinion, is more than doable because, you have the share structure going for you. So we know that, there can't be, any more dilution. We know that the market value is ridiculously underpriced, one of the, most underpriced things I've seen in quite some time. And we know there's pending news. The pending news is going to be that name change. There's going to be a name change or ticker symbol change. And like Stock Sumo mentioned with the chart, and you mentioned copy, there's a bull on that chart. If you combine those things with some upward buying pressure, this thing can really fly. It's kind of, I see all these different kind of companies that trade on the pink sheets and OTC markets and stuff. And you got this guy that's, right now, under half a penny, and it has 150, million shares, and the float is 80 million. You look at that combination, any sort of channel break, any sort of news, any sort of positive momentum, which I think we're really close to getting, will take it off. And just the last thing I'll say on that is, I know for a fact there were a bunch of people that are taking write-offs on this stock. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a lot of those tax write-offs come back into the stock in the near future. You saw a nice volume pop today, so that's probably a part of it as well. But what am I expecting? In the near short term, the next couple of weeks or so, and like you mentioned, I'm not the company. I'm just along here, and I'm sold on this stock. There's no way it can't get to 3 or 4 cents with the share structure that it is currently, in my opinion, at least. But
gotcha. No, that all makes sense. The other key thing I forgot to point out is the amount of days. With DD Amanda, it gives you the amount of days since a good trigger is $100,000 at trading OTC stock, and what I try to target around. And the last time that happened was looks like, what is it? October 7th, $119,495, trading 8 million in between the 0.012 and 0.016. Now, the reason why I tell you that is things go in cycles, and the amount of days that it happens is anywhere between 50 and 75 days is a good range of where I see the 100,000 come back, and it's been 64 days. Just another little trick for if you guys, I'm just telling you how I do it, and it works for me. And I'm sure you guys have all figured out there in the listening world that we pick bottom plays, and we pick them pretty damn well. And I think this one's got a bottom. I'm ready to vote.
Ready to vote. Okay. But I'm not going to start with you.
All right.
It's good to be the host. It really is. Okay, I'm going to start with nickel tonight.
Starting with me tonight. Well, I'm going to go with a buy on this one. I see nothing but upside in the near future. Doesn't seem like it's going to go too much further down at this point.
Okay. We got a buy there. Stock Sumo.
I spoke to Siffy earlier. He mentioned to me that he was looking for a dip first. He's rating it a buy, but he's looking for a dip first. And I would agree with him. I'm not quite sure that we're at the bottom yet. The longer the base, the better the case. If I see some sideways trading action and it stabilizes here, then that'll confirm to me that the bottom is solidified, and then I'd be looking to jump on it. But I'm going to say agree with Siffy, and it's a buy after a dip.
Buy after the dip. Well, we have no such category, so you're a buy. I don't remember saying buy after dip. It's buy, sell, or hold, sir.
I make my own categories.
Okay, well, it doesn't count. It doesn't matter. I write you down as buy. Cop.
I'm a buy. But I mean, what Sumo said has validity. But I'm calling the bottom, and you look at yesterday, and then you take the amount of volume that it had in the dollar. You follow the money. That's the key to the OTC, and it takes a long time for a lot of people to understand that. They think the world revolves around L2 and volume. It's money. Follow the money in the percentages. Money in percentages. I can say that a million times, and the money says it's going north. I'm a buy.
Okay, Frank, your prediction for tomorrow? Buy, sell, or hold?
I'm a buy, and I've been buying. When you look at the original cost basis, I've been here for a while, and I've been averaging down really well, and I'm in a strong position here, and solid buy. Buy.
All right. Now, Haas earlier in the day, because he could not make it tonight for the show, told me he's going to go with the majority. So I'm going to write him down as a buy. And since Siffy is out and I don't want him to lose pace, I'm going to give him a buy as well. So it evens everything out. So the only one left is me. I'm a sell, hold, buy guy. I'm going all three ways. Because I'm allowed to. No,
the trifecta.
Well, that's sell after the dip or buy after the dip. I mean, no, I'm a buy on this one also with you guys. I enjoy it.
Hey, I one last thing too, and beyond the game that we play here with picking the stocks for the following day, this company can actually have a really good story.
Okay.
And you know how I like stories.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you take the name Marvel and you take the name Disney, and I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. Who's the CEO anyway?
It's Chris Leclerc.
Chris Leclerc. Okay, I don't know what Chris Leclerc is doing, but if he has those connections and is able to capitalize on that, and whatever, when you raise the capital that he did and those type of things, you always hope that the OTC company, that they take that money, they put it in the company to build the product, to build the range, and they're already making revenues because they're already selling the product. So clearly, they're on the right direction to do this type of stuff. They closed something with Disney in a big fashion, and this whole thing's pretty much a game changer.
Well, with the story part, not only is there Chris Leclerc, I want people to understand that their, vice president of sales and marketing is a guy by the name of Stephen Miller. He has a blog and a company out there called Milos Loves Toys, and he was actually an account manager for Kid Robot. And Kid Robot is one of the biggest toy companies out there online if you go ahead and do a Google search on it. So he was an account manager for Kid Robot, and there was a press release, I forget the date exactly, months ago, that said they're going to be bringing on more people from Kid Robot there. So, you not only have the guy with the dream, Chris Leclerc, he surrounded himself with people like Sid, people like Stephen Miller, who have strong connections to that Kid Robot. And the last thing that they're working with is they have a licensing deal with the guy by the name of Tristan Eaton. He actually just had a documentary done by him that CNN ran a couple months ago. So if you go do a Google search, Tristan Eaton and CNN, you're going to see that, he's been in the toy front world, the front of the toy world for quite some time. So you mentioned Story Cop. I'll tell you what, this guy Chris Leclerc has a great plan. He's got a great idea, and I'm really confident with the people that he surrounded himself with, especially in that kid robot world. So, like you said, this is the OTC world. There's thousands of stocks out there, but when you find one with a story that has official licensing deals with Marvel, potentially Disney down the road, they're tied to Kid Robot, it really looks for a solid buy. It makes your buy feel a lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's what you want. There's no doubt about it. It's what you want.
Fantastic. Frank, you did an excellent job. I want to thank you for coming on with us tonight. I know you're going to stay on. We've already talked about that previously. But I just want to thank you for that segment. It was awesome. I thought it was great. Guys?
Oh, yeah. No, it was a beautiful job.
I mean, hopefully that answered a lot of questions for people, got some insight on the stock.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I enjoyed every bit of it.
Hopefully it does well tomorrow or in the following days. Really, it's all based on time. All right, let's take a little commercial break, and we'll be back with Stocks in Focus.
And now a quick word from thepennyben.com. What does one penny say to the other penny? Let's get together and make some sense. Are you tired of losing your hard-earned pennies? Be sure to visit thepennyben.com and download our iPhone app where delivery of our stock plays right into your iPhone instantly. The time to start making money is now. Please be advised that you may make huge sums of money and that thepennyben.com will not be held liable.
Sweetheart, now you're getting a little bit older. What do you want to do when you grow up?
Daddy, when I get older, I want to flip stocks.
You want to flip stocks? Well, how are you going to go about flipping stocks?
StockLegends.com, duh.
StockLegends.com? I heard that they have the best stock picks around.
Of course we do, Dad. Time is money. I gotta go.
Don't get lost in the crowd. Stock Traders Tweets is dedicated to stock traders. When you tweet here, you know that 100% of the people seeing your tweets are stock traders. With multiple tools such as linking your Twitter/Facebook accounts to feeding your favorite boards from iHub into Stock Traders Tweets. This is truly your one-stop website to maximizing your social networking visibility. Join us today at www.stocktraderstweets.com. Welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, STT. Joining me on the program tonight, I have Cop, Nickel, Stock Sumo, and Frank. Wow, okay. For those that joined late and missed any portion of tonight's show, you'll be able to listen to it in its entirety approximately 10 p.m. on iHub. We will post it on the board for you, where you can find it and how you can actually... You don't listen to it. You can actually view it because it's in video format. It's awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, that was good stuff with FBCD. Let's move on to Stocks in Focus. And I know he's very excited about this portion of the show because he told me prior to the show that he had to go first because he had a ton of them. So I'm going to throw it over to him real quick and see how he handles the spotlight. Stock Sumo.
No, I didn't request to go first. I just said I was excited about this part of the show because I have a lot of picks. I'm a regular on the show. A lot of you know me out there. A lot of you are familiar with some of my websites. In case you don't know, BlueHorseshoeStocks.com is a great site to go to look at some of the recent newsletters we put out. A great thing about our newsletters compared to other newsletters, we're not always paid on the stocks that we cover. If you ever have a question, look at our disclaimer on bluehorseshoestocks.com. Most of the picks that we put out, we're not compensated on. We've been striving to pick some great bottom bounce plays, and over the past month, we've just been on fire. Our first one was APP, American Apparel. I'm sure you guys remember me talking about it before. If not, it was around 54 cents when we called it. Recently as high as 89 cents for a 65% gain. Definitely want to keep American Apparel on your radar, APP. BPAX, that's BPAX. Recently made a 57% move for us. We called it on December 16th as low as 38 cents following our alert. And just yesterday and today, its high was 59.6 cents. So great move on BPAX. ATRN, that was one mentioned on a previous show as a stock spotlight. ATRN made another great move today, hit new highs for us. The previous high was 3 cents. We alerted the stock January 4th, and it's been on a wicked tear since. We caught the momentum. That's what set off our radars, and that's why we put it on our watch list. ATRN hit a new high today at 4.5 cents. It's gone up 200% since we've been following it. A new bounce play that we just called yesterday, TRID. This is a great one. Definitely want to keep this one on your watch list. It's Trident Microsystems, Inc. It was as low as 7.5 cents yesterday, and it hit a high of 10.87 cents today. It was up 29% on the day. It closed at 10.2. So there's a couple. We also caught AACS. This is a 002 stock, and it's got 350 million shares authorized, and the outstanding is 330 million shares. So there's not much room for dilution there. You know, they can't increase that OS much more. It's pretty much maxed out there. So it seems like it's a multi-day runner. It's been picking up in volume. AACS, that's American Commerce Solutions, Inc. Take it away, guys. Who's next?
That's everything? Well, I mean, God only knows. I mean, I wouldn't want to stop your 5-minute commercial.
It's just been crazy lately. We've been on fire. Of course, we have a loser here and there, but with this many winners, you really, you can't go wrong.
I got to ask you though, just maybe because I'm not an expert at this, but I mean I think I'm pretty good at trading. But anybody who claims they're an expert, you know how that whole thing goes. You do promotion sometimes. I mean, clearly that's the case. You know, I don't do that. I don't do the compensation thing. I just want to trade. When you do that, I mean, I assume you put a disclaimer out and all that other type of stuff when you are compensated, and then how do you tell?
The bottom of my emails, I list the amount that I was compensated, and I also put that on the disclaimer page on the website.
So you guys actually pick plays too? Is that just so you keep your base of people listening and those type of things, and then you do compensated plays in between that? Is that how that works?
Absolutely, and a lot of sites out there claim that they're traders, and most of the stock picks that these people are putting out they're paid on, and well, where we actually trade stocks, and most of the picks that we put out, we're trading the stock, or it's a stock that we're thinking about trading. And if I'm willing to take a stock on to put it out and I'm compensated, I have to be comfortable with it and know that I would want to invest my own personal money in it.
Gotcha. Interesting. I didn't know that's how that worked. No, that's good. I have plays, but I'm not compensated, nor do I have my own website that's dedicated to that type of stuff. However,
you sure?
Well, I mean,
we can make one.
No, I've been involved in websites and all that stuff before. I just don't. It takes a very unique person, somebody that's going to work 20 hours a day, to do awareness and that type of stuff, and I'm just not that guy. And my hat's off to you there, Sumo, because it's not easy if that's how you make your money, and there's no doubt about that. But here's where I'm at. I like that AACS play. There's no doubt about that. I think that's moving pretty good. GDS.
Can I ask a question on that one?
Yeah.
And I want to. Maybe this isn't just an overall factor today. I mean, overall, was the day just slow today, or was it me?
No, it was slow.
Okay, because I mean, honestly, I know you like AACS, and I don't want to bash the play or anything, but I mean, realistically, that's not a lot of volume.
No, no. What triggered that for me was, I like iHub. I use iHub for a lot of different things, and there's certain things where you see certain posters. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, and you can, after time watching certain people, you find out where the money goes and that type of stuff. And I don't have a particular person that I follow. I have a bunch of people that I kind of wait till certain things align and the stars go. I'll check volume and I'll check L2 and then I'll check pricing. But really, the thing that picks my stocks for me is, and I tell you guys this all the time, is Amanda. I mean, Amanda, you can be a very bad trader with Amanda and do really well. And Amanda's not for sale. You can't even get a subscription right now. So hopefully they fix that crap. So people, they should, they don't want to do it. But hopefully I can talk them into doing that, and we'll go from there. But let me give you my hot ones. You done interrupting me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, good. Yeah. GDSM, rocking on that one. Love that thing. Started getting volume again. Then somebody blocked it a little bit, but it still went up. I'm not sure how much it actually went up today. Another 15%. But it just keeps slowly accumulating, slowly going up. Those are my favorite. And I got a new one for you tonight. And I'm telling you that this is going to be one. ITKH. It's iTechnic Holdings Corporation. If you're not in that play, I highly recommend take a look at that. There's certain things, certain people, and certain things that happen. And OTC moves off of Momo. All right, and don't believe the hype. Don't believe all the crap. There's the people that don't do very well when it comes to OTC is thinking that it's all about the price per earnings, the great business plan, the great strategic objectives and marketing plan, product placement, and all that other cool, great stuff. And then the financials are full of revenues and all kinds of other stuff. In most cases, that is the company that you would like to buy on the big boards or even small caps, because that's how the evaluation happens. But the reality is Momo and people run into it and the buzz and what they're doing out there with the message boards, the tweets, all that other type of stuff, because people don't want to lose out. That's the beauty to stock trading, is they don't want to miss the run, they don't want to miss the train. It's just understanding how that works and then jumping on that. And by any means, I'm not telling anybody how to trade or anything like that. That's your business. But I'm telling you what I do, and that's what I do. So ITKH is my third one that I'm really focused on. And
okay. I'm sorry.
And one other thing, do I have to disclaim this? I may buy that FBCD tomorrow.
Okay, good stuff.
That's all I got.
I don't know if you have to disclaim that or not.
I'm just making sure that I guess I don't. If I already had it, and then we talked about that would be different, I guess, huh?
I don't even think it matters. As long as you buy it on the open market, you can say what you want.
Right. Perfect.
Okay. For those out there listening, the easiest play today was CBIS.
What about NEOM?
Well, I'm going to get to these things, but I got to do one at a time. Anytime there's news with cannabis and cancer in the title, it's a winner. It's going to be a winner for today. Dr. Bob is awesome, as we all know. And the stock always moves on decent news. Sorry, Nickel.
We are fighting. We are so fighting right now.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I didn't even know, man. I knew you said sector. I didn't know you were going to talk about the cannabis sector. Also, JDSM, as was discussed, that was a stock spotlight from last Thursday. It's doing very, very well. And, of course, my ALZM. Loving my ALZM. I got Keith in it with me today. He bought some for me. Not that I needed the help, but he wanted to join on the ride. And don't forget my predictions of Apple and Google. Google going to 1,000 and Apple going to 700 by the end of the year. That's correct. By the end of the year. Go ahead, Nickel. I'm sorry, man.
She certainly already stole my thunder. But no, I do agree with you on a CBIS. And that may open a whole new ball game for the whole sector in itself. Anything that deals with the, like you said, cancer and the marijuana side of the house, you're looking at a whole area that hasn't even been explored yet. Like everybody else said, Sumo, ATRN, the thing's been a beast. We talked about it when it was, touched 88 cents when it was first on our show.
0088. 0088.
Yeah, 0088, excuse me. And touched 4.5. I mean, huge game today. GDSM, like you said, COP is looking strong. It's been building momentum. A few of our guys have been in that one since 005. And I don't see that one stopping anytime soon. I think that one's going to go for a little bit more, too. But anyway, since you already stole my thunder, Mike, I'm going to give it back to you. And
well, no, I want you to stay on with the cannabis sector because we've done interviews with I want to say 5 of those companies so far.
Well, is
that right? 5?
Yeah.
About 5 of them. And I never knew this until we did the interviews, obviously. And there's a lot of things I didn't know until we did interviews, and that they're not in competition with each other. As a matter of fact, as one does well, the other does just as well. So it's always a good sector to keep an eye on because if one's going to start moving, then the other one's going to start moving. I mean, they work hand in hand.
Yeah, I've noticed that in the past runs.
If I remember correctly, though, with in fact, CBIS, I believe it was early last year when they first started legalizing just the cannabis in general. It went for a big run itself, if I remember correctly. And, now they're tying into a whole, medical background with cancer. I mean, like you said, anytime you see cancer news, the stocks just run. One to keep an eye on, speaking of cancer, is we had it on the show not too long ago, SBFM. That is, they've got that corner of the market, right to themselves with rights. Right. So that's one to keep an eye on, too. But, when you're going back to the cannabis side, you got cancer estimated global drug sales growth at, annual 12 to 15%, reaching 75 to 80 billion this year. Those are huge numbers when there's not that many companies out there that are strictly dealing with this area.
Absolutely. Frank, you got anything that you're watching besides FBCD?
Besides FBCD, something that's really caught my eye is SAPX. I like that chart over there. It got it's trading significantly higher in the last couple months. So besides FBCD, I think that's the other one that I'm real bullish on at the moment.
So you like an SAPX, huh?
Yes, sir. I like that chart.
I was going to do a favor and do a shout-out for SAPX just after you were done, but you covered it for me, so thank you very much.
No favor on my end. I'm just telling you where I'm at. But, I like that chart over there, so.
Yeah, no, like I said, I know there's a few traders on it that really, really like it and are looking for it to move big. So I was going to give it a little play here on the radio, but you did that for me. Did I forget anybody? I don't think so. Siffy's not here. I got Comp covered. I got Nickel covered.
Yeah, no, Hosh just wanted to know if Copper knew who the Wild was. he just wanted to know.
I'm never going to live that down. And I claim to be a big sports guy. And, congratulations to Alabama. That was one hell of an ass whooping they gave to LSU there. So if anybody's an LSU fan, sorry. I mean, it is what it is. But, you can't possibly expect Nick Saban to lose 2 games in a row in the same season to the same team. especially not his alma mater.
No, not gonna. Last night's game, honestly, is a little boring though.
Yeah, I don't like seeing blowouts like that.
Speaking of, what do you think about football this weekend?
Tough games, I think. I'm. You know what? And I know we're getting a little off subject, so I got to get the cops' corner here, but I am giving the Giants a good chance against Green Bay. Don't know if they're going to pull it out, but I think it's going to be a tight game. And if it snows, Giants win. Just for the record, if it snows.
Wow, if it snows, Giants win.
Mm-hmm.
In Lambeau Field? Wow.
Yep.
I'm rooting for snow then.
If it snows. Cop, you have anything to say about the football games, real quick?
I'm not a Denver Broncos fan, but I got to tell you, the image of sports needed a couple of key things to happen, and especially football. They had a lot of bad stuff with Owens and Ocho Cinco for the years, and what Tim Tebow is bringing from a marketing perspective for the NFL is just amazing. I mean, the most amazing thing that guy could ever do, on the scale of football, is miraculously win the next few games, win the Super Bowl, and retire. Can you imagine the power of Tim Tebow after that?
Wait.
Seriously.
Wait.
The key phrase was retire.
So he wins the Super Bowl and then retires at 23?
Doesn't
24?
matter. It's not the point. The point is that guy will make so much motivation speaking money that he'd never have to play another down.
Okay.
Trust me. I'm just telling you. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm in a bad spot because I'm a Giant fan, but I'm also a huge Gator fan because I live here. And, I got to follow. After they graduate, you got to follow your players. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to, Mike. That's just an excuse.
No, down here you do.
I'd rather be out of the playoffs.
Think about it. We're not going to get religious and political or anything like that. But if he is able to pull something out, and he has a team. I mean, granted, that defense on Denver is no slouch. I mean, they are pretty damn good. There's just some amazing things that can come from that. I'm sure of that.
All right. Okay. Now, this is a tribute to one of our co-hosts who's missing in action tonight, Haas. He absolutely requested this. It may be the first and last time I ever play it. But coming up in the show is Cops Corner. And our introduction to Cops Corner goes something like this.
Oh, no.
Check this out, baby girl. Why don't you check out a nigga? Man, I go to work. True winner. Jeans skinny like Squidward. Looking for your girl. Just missed it. Then my cat daddy and I took her down. Simple. Wrist cold, mama call her winner. Swisher full of nuggets, daddy call it dinner. Baby got ass, Shelty call it center. BBS Jackson, Gilly we deliver. Daddy when I dug it, daddy when I remember. Competition, see the crease, they surrender. Smoke a wide cleft kush, now I'm gone from the river. Move your arms like you wheelchair surf. Drop low, grab your shoulder like fuck. That power 106 to bang this shit.
And here he is, Cop Daddy.
That's funny. Thanks, Hoss. Appreciate that. The guy even sandbags me from when he's not even on the show. How's he pull that off? I mean, you guys getting text messages from him? Hey, do it.
Yeah,
no. It was requested earlier today. Sorry.
That's awesome.
It was just a simple text for the wild thing.
Let me just explain something real quick. For those listening, it's kind of an inside joke, so I don't expect many to be laughing, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah. It's supposed to be Cat Daddy, and you guys put it to Cop Daddy. I appreciate that. Thanks. All right, Cops Corner. Let me go there. All right, as you guys know, we've been doing a sequence of key iHub boards and those places that you can find some information and how to utilize them and some good stuff. Tonight I'm going to do stocklinks.info. That is stock, STOCK, links, LINKS.info. Now, to give you a little heads up about this site is over the years, I've been collecting a lot amount of links and certain things that I use to trade and those type of things. So collectively, kind of gave some of that stuff to Chasing Stars, and Chasing Stars just went off and just added so much stuff. And it's pretty amazing. It's like a one-stop shop DD area to where basically it's you have the home links. Then it has the actual link itself, the URL, and then it has the area of what it would be, whether it's in bios, charts, finance, iHub, legal, news, all those other type of things. And then it also has the OTC, press release areas, and a whole bunch of research sections. I mean, pretty insane. If there's something that you're missing that from this site, I don't know exactly what it would be. So when you basically, the way it's set up is, those of you that listen, stocklinks.info, you'll see that it's got a home, and to where, it's got all the websites, and it has a market glossary. And this glossary is taken, it has all of it, A all through Z, and, all the different things regarding that affect the markets, as well as the chart glossary. So all the different terms that are associated with charts, symbol meanings, which basically is, all the different stuff on the trading stuff. And then questions, it has his videos. For those of you who don't know, Chasing Stars is pretty damn good at making videos. He does a lot of them out there on how to do certain things. He's one of those guys that just wants to help people trade. It's pretty cool. Then, of course, he's got site friends and those different people that are associated with, who he hangs out with and all of that. But the beauty to it is the second line, where you can actually buy subject. If you want to just go to links, or you want to go to just bio links or chart links, finance, iHub, legal, news, research, and everything else, as well as scan and SEC documents. So if you're looking, I use this a lot. I'm a big fan of going to SEC.gov and looking at different things. Now, what I really look for Form 4 insider buys, as well as, of course, the calendar, 8Ks, 10Ks, that type of stuff. So it's pretty effective, and you can set up different alerts for different stuff and those type of things. The tools section is basically, a trade calculator, L2 videos, how to do trades, afraid to trade. A couple of my favorite are actually in there. I love the DD machine. StockHideout.com's got some good stuff, as well as investor words. The other key thing with stock charts, I know Sumo mentioned stockcharts.com, but there's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, you can go to barchart.com, big charts, candlestick shop, lots of different ones out there for what you're trying to do. My favorite is stockcharts.com, so if you're looking for that. On the finance side, I'm a big budget guy, and I like that type of stuff. It gives you some world news and some different areas to where you can actually look at some stuff. All right, and basically that is stocklinks.com and or stocklinks.info, and it's just another tool that we're bringing to you here and highlighting so that you can help you with your trading.
All right, good stuff there, Cop. Appreciate it, sir. I know you work hard on all that stuff. So
Try to.
Congratulations on that. All right, guys, we only got a couple minutes left in tonight's show. It's been a real wing doozer. Is that a word? I don't know.
It's been a dilly wang ski.
What is that from? Oh, it's from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. How sad is that? Okay. Going around real quick. I'm going to start with Nickel real quick. Nickel.
Go ahead.
Nickel, real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Say good night, man.
Good night, everybody. You guys have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Stock Sumo.
Have a good night, all. See you next week.
Cop.
Hey, good night. Good luck with your football things. And actually, we got a show tomorrow night, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right, I'll be here
tomorrow night.
Frank.
Good night, guys. Thanks again, and roll tide.
All right, Frankie. Thank you very much. All right, for you out there, from us in here, thanks for listening to the radio show. We'll be on again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget Thursday, big CEO interview. Next Tuesday, another big CEO interview. Next Thursday, another big CEO interview coming up here, all on Stock Traders Talk Radio. Good luck tomorrow in the trading. Good luck all year long. We'll be here Sunday through Thursday. Have a good night. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed